First thing I'd like to say is welcome to our first virtual college student finance presentation. Stacy and I were asked to pull this together to offer additional services to our incoming first-year parents, students, returning parents that just have questions about how to navigate the B-bill. So we will proceed with this very informal presentation. I hope that you find it beneficial and would ask that if you have any questions, we were testing the chat. It did not seem to be working for us. So if you're chatting a question and I do not answer you, I would just suggest that at the end of the presentation or even during, you can send an email to bursar@bucknell.edu. That's BURSAR @bucknell.edu. And we will try to review those during the presentation or maybe at the end of the presentation and answer them for everyone, or we can answer them to you privately via email. So at any time during this presentation, like I said, you may try to enter a chat, but Stacy tested that and it didn't seem to be working properly. So I'm truly sorry for that. So first of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Carol Yost and I am the Bursar Services Manager. And I have been here I'm in my 22nd year. And Stacy and I have pulled together this presentation and hope that you will reach out to us at some point when this is over with any comments and concerns that you might have. And I'll let Stacy introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Stacy Embeck. I am the Bursar Services Coordinator. I've been at Bucknell 6 years and in the Bursar's office about a year and a half. Before this, I was in payroll, but hopefully you'll find this very informative. And again, if you have questions for us at the end, we're happy to answer those. So welcome.
So this is a very important slide. This website right here is something that is going to be very important to you for the next 4 years or however many years you might have left with Bucknell. So if you ever want to find out anything about B-bill, the first place that you should go is to bucknell.edu/B-bill. And this is a bison. This is our mascot. This is the page that will show up when you enter that website. Just gives a brief brief explanation of what B-bill is and how to pay online. So I believe that majority of you are probably authorized users or parents or guardians of students. So you would want to select the link that says authorized user login. Do not log in as a student. If your student gives you their credentials, it's not secure. So if you log in as your student and your student is here on campus logging in as them, Google's going to pick that up and think that there's fraudulent activity and might lock you both out. So I strongly encourage you to have your student, if they have not done so already, set you up as an authorized user in B-bill. When you go to this tab and you log in, I will just tell you this right now, once you're set up, you will receive an email that will have your username and your password. And your username will be the email address that your student used to set you up, or that they entered when they set you up, I should say. You'll receive a temporary password. Once you log in, you'll be prompted to set up a new password. When you log in to that site as an authorized user, this is the home page of B-bill. So basically every month we issue a brand new statement. However, this page and all the information behind it is available 24/7 every day of the year unless we're shut down for maintenance. And this information that you see here shows our next due date, which is August the 12th. If you have not already received your statement or a notification that there was a statement, that would mean that your student has not set you up as an authorized user. So I can't stress how important that is. We get a lot of calls in the middle of the academic year where parents are like, I never got a bill. So we look up at the student's account and find out that the student never set anybody up. And also by being set up as an authorized user, this allows you to call in or send an email to the Bursar email address, and any of the staff here, the 4 of us in the office, are able to answer those questions and give you specific information about the financials on your student account. We will not share with you their grades. or anything else regarding their classes or extracurricular activity. We're strictly here to talk to you about, balance due, estimated financial aid, how to pay a bill, how to set up a payment plan, and we'll get to all of that. I'm adding people every once in a while. I'm getting a new person trying to be admitted. So if there's any hesitation, that's why. I apologize. Catch up on my slides here. So this very first screen is the home page, as I said, and I also put announcements in over here on the left-hand side. These are really important. And I'm going to say a lot of times the student does not generally go to this page. They'll get an email that tells them that they have a balance due, and they'll see the balance due in their email. I can't stress enough the importance, though, for a student and their authorized user to log into the actual site through that email that I just gave you and review any comments that are in here. There's generally very, very important information in here. Every month when we issue a new statement, this information usually changes. So the very first thing I'm going to show you is how to be added as an authorized user. So if you go back here, there's a link right here that says authorized user. This is where your student will select this tab, and it takes them here. And if they have authorized users, they would click on this tab and it would list who they were. This is add authorized user. So at this point, the student would add the email address of the parent, guardian, aunt, uncle, their parents' company secretary. They would add that here. Anybody that they want to give access to be able to log in and see the account. These questions here, would you like to allow the person to view your statement and account activity? Generally should be yes, because otherwise, why are you setting them up? Would you like to allow this person to view your 1098-T tax statement? Again, that's a good one to answer yes, because that way they can log in at the end of January. And if you have if there is a 1098-T tax statement for the student, that's where you'll find it. And would you like to allow this person to view your payment history and account activity? Again, that should be yes. And then you would hit continue. And at that point, when the student does that, you will receive an email advising you that you are now an authorized user, but you must proceed by setting up your profile. This is the email that you would receive when we issue a new B-bill. So on July the 13th, we ran bills, and on July the 14th, we sent out a notice to all the students and their authorized users that said exactly this. This is what would come to the authorized user. Thank you for using B-bill. This message is to inform you that a new B-bill has been issued for whom you are an authorized user and is now available by selecting the e-bill statement section at bucknell.edu/bbill. So again, you would log in as an authorized user and it would take you right to that home page. This information here is also included in that email, and it gives the amount due and the last 4 digits of a student ID number. I didn't mention it yet, and I should have mentioned it first. The student ID number is crucial that you have that whenever you call or write. It's always good to have the student name and at least the last 4 digits of the student account ID. So this here would give an amount due. And you might see 32,000, you might see 0, or you might see a negative number in front of that. And it's still going to show as amount due, even if it is a credit balance. I'm sorry, but that's just the way the software program works. If you see an amount due and it's negative, that's great news. Then you don't owe anything by this due date. If you see something that says amount due, then it's time to look at the statement and figure out why you owe or what you owe or when it's due. So we'll go back to this. This again is the home page. Now that email that I just showed you was just a sample of my account. So there's not any balance in here. These pages here are an actual student account. And this is showing the balance that is billed on their statement. It's showing the estimated financial aid, and the estimated financial aid in this case would be any type of federal loans that we can't post on the student account yet. Any federal loans actually would post there, or federal grants will not post until on or around the first day of classes. So then the number underneath is the balance that remains after you would subtract the financial aid from the initial balance. In this case, this person owes $2,794.50. So you can see that here, and you can also see it down here. That's what the statement actually shows on the statement. So if you want to view the statement, it's very important that when you get to this page and you want to see the statement, that you either click here on View Statement, or this link right here will give you the most current statement. It will take you to this page. In this case, there's only one because it's the first statement issued for this first year student. If you would go into My Account, you'd see a list of 12 different statements because we bill every month, whether it's a credit balance, a zero balance, or if there's a balance due. So you can actually look at previous statements if you need to. A lot of people don't open the statement. They just look at the email that they get or the account activity. It's very, very important that you look at the statement so that you can see the debits, the credits, the mailing address, all of that information. And it's a PDF, so you could actually print that out and have that, as a reminder when something is due. This is what the statement looks like. And I apologize, I know this is small. We tried everything we could to get it bigger. But if you log in and look at your own student's account, you'll be able to see this in a much bigger way. So this right here would be this, find my mouse, here would be the student name and mailing address. This is the Bursar Services mailing address. And up here is your statement date, the due date, and the balance due. In here, it lists the semester, which is fall 2022, and all the charges that have been billed in the fall. So we have tuition fees, room and board, and orientation fee for all first years. The next one is a credit, because that is the Bucknell need-based grant. So this particular student is getting a grant, and that posted also initially on the bill. So the statement balance is the $10,954.50. The next section is the total estimated financial aid, which again, we cannot disperse until on or around the first day of classes. This person has a Pell Grant, SCOG award, and 2 loans, the sub and unsub, the federal direct loans. And because they're memoed on the bill like this, that means that the paperwork has been completed for financial aid to get that ready to disperse. If you open up your statement and there's something missing here that you initially thought you would see, you might want to have your student inquire with financial aid to find out if there's a document missing or a signature missing somewhere so that that aid will disperse. And that brings this to the balance due of $2794.50. Back to the home page. So on this page, we're going to select, bear with me, sorry. The next one is the account activity. Generally, the only time we really encourage people to look at the account activity is if they want to look at the estimated financial aid, like a breakdown of that, or if they want to see things that were billed since the last statement. It also does give detail of what you see on the statement, but again, we strongly encourage that you use the PDF. This is the account activity. So this shows the B-bill account balance for fall of 2022. So here's the estimated aid, and it's broke down in this manner. And then below you see all the charges and the Bucknell need-based grant that went on that student's account. Back to the home page. Now it's time to make a payment. So we're going to select this button here, this orange button for make a payment. Here, you're going to have 3 boxes. You're going to see a current account balance, a statement amount, and an amount due. The current account balance would be if something got posted after we ran the initial PDF statement. The second one, this is going to be what was on the PDF. So this is the actual balance that we're requesting you to pay. The amount due is the final balance. Let's say the account balance changed by $100 for a change in a meal plan. The amount due then, of course, would change. So this person owes $2,794.50, but they know that a relative or the local Elks in their town is going to be sending a check for $2,000 in the next 2 weeks. So they're only going to go in here and make a payment for $794.50. So when I tell you that you have to select a radio button, it doesn't really matter which one of these you select. You still have to enter an amount in this box. And again, I know that is a little bit confusing because a lot of people are like, well, you don't give me an option to make a separate amount. I wish that we were kind of like a credit card company where it gave a box for other, but this is kind of your other box. You put whatever amount you want to pay in here. So I chose the $794.50, and you can see then it enters down here at the bottom. The next screen you're going to get to is account payment, and it's going to ask for your method. So here's the amount I want to pay, and I'm going to select my method. When I click on the select method, it's going to bring up this information. I'm going to choose an electronic check. We do not take debit or credit cards. So if you enter any of that information, it may accept it, but when it comes back, it's going to be rejected by the bank. When we try to pull that out, it's not going to recognize that account number. So we strongly encourage you to only enter your bank information, and that would be found at the bottom of your check. This one we have a difficult time explaining to our students because many students are not familiar with a check. They always use a debit card. So we do get a lot of those back, and we have to correct those. So you're going to put the name of your account, and the account type would be savings or checking. You would enter your routing number, your bank account, and we ask you to not copy and paste your bank account, but to re-enter your account number to confirm that. Up here is an option to save this for future use. And as an authorized user, that would save this bank information on your actual credentials when you log in. And it will be encrypted. We will only see the last 4 digits of your savings or checking account. And this says refund options. I believe as a parent, you will not have the option to save this as a refund account because all of the refunds that we issue are done through the student account. So if your student wishes to set up a payment method, you can set it up with all of your bank information and make it a refund account. And then if and when they have a refund during the academic year and they request the $250 that's remaining or the $2,000 that's extra on the account, we can refund that and it would go into your bank account. So that was a whole lot of information right now to throw at you about navigating the B-Bill site. There are several of us in this office, and at the end of this presentation, you'll see the names of everyone. When you write to Bursar at Bucknell, the 4 of us get that email. So you can reach out to any one of us specifically, or you can just write in general to Bursar. And I strongly encourage you again to either in the subject or somewhere in the body, include the student name and either the full BUID number, which is an 8-digit number, or at least the last 4, which is very helpful for us to give you good, accurate information. At this time, I'm going to move the presentation on to Stacy, who she'll talk about the payment plan.
Carol, can you do the next slide? Thanks. So Bucknell does offer a monthly payment plan option. It's administered by Nelnet Campus Commerce. This payment plan option is per semester. So for the fall semester, and spring both, you can divide your payments up to 5 consecutive monthly interest-free installments. Depending on when you sign up, it's basically a 5, then it goes to a 4, and then a 3-month plan. There is an enrollment fee of $40 per semester. Again, no interest. The enrollment plan begins in May for the fall semester and ends on the fall semester due date. So you do have time if you've forgotten to enroll or didn't know that this was an option. You can enroll up to and including the due date of the fall semester. The spring semester enrollment begins in October, so planning ahead, just keep that in mind. We have a lot of questions from parents on, so as you know, the fall semester bills just went out the middle of July, and the enrollment is starts in May. So how do you know what your budget amount should be? So to estimate your budget, you would take Bucknell's comprehensive fees, which are found on our website, bucknell.edu. Divide them by 2 to get the per semester comprehensive fees. And then you receive the financing options and the financial aid letters from the financial aid office. So if you are expecting any financial aid or know that your student has maybe selected or going to select their federal direct loans, or if you know of a Parent Plus loan or any type of loan that you're planning on taking, you could subtract those amounts from the comprehensive fees, and this would give you an estimated budget. So you would start making payments directly to Nelnet. What they do is they actually will debit your bank account. This is an automatic withdrawal, and it usually comes out around the 5th of each month. As you can see, we do have Nelnet's phone number and the website, which is mycollegepaymentplan.com/Bucknell. You can go there to enroll. There's a lot of information on their website. Both US and non-US citizens can apply. Non-US citizens, you do need a US bank account to do a debit. So they do accept credit card payments, but please note that there is a service charge that is charged by Nelnet if you do use a credit card to make your payments. If you could go to the next slide, Carol. So this is actually right from Nelnet's website. These are target dates to enroll by. So you can see for the fall semester, you could start enrolling on May 1st. For the 5-month plan, June 1st was the last day to enroll. We are currently in the 3-month plan option. So as long as you enroll by August 1st, you would be enrolled in the 3-month plan. And you can see that the payments then would be due August, November, and December. I'm sorry, August, September, and October for the 3-month plan option. Again, thinking ahead for the spring semester, you can enroll in the spring payment plan starting October 1st. The last day to enroll for that is November 1st for the 5-month plan option. If you estimate your budget and you receive your bill, we will bill for the spring semester in December. Let's say you've estimated and you receive your bill in December and you have over or underestimated, you can contact Nelnet to adjust your budget up or down, whichever way you need. And then what they'll do is they will just adjust your remaining payments accordingly. Again, if you visit their website, there's a lot of information there, but if you do have any more specific questions about the monthly payment plan, we're happy to answer those for you as well. Okay. So
moving on.
Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that this is kind of just a page. If you want to quick write down any names or numbers or email addresses. We love emails as opposed, I'm not saying we don't love your phone call, because we do love speaking to you, but at the beginning of the semester, such as right now, when we issued the first fall semester B-bill last week, it was almost impossible to get through on the phone. There are just 4 of us, and some days it's less than that. So our voicemail usually says to send an email to bursar@bucknell.edu with your question. And then we're a little bit, we can relax a little bit and actually look up the student account, get some information in front of us before we give you a response. A lot of times if you call us on the phone and we have to look or reach out to another department or get you information, then then we have to call you back. So at least at the beginning of the semester or maybe the first week of classes, if you struggle to get through on the phone, please send an email. We do ask that you don't do it both ways. If you've already left a message and you haven't heard and you want to send an email, it's 100% fine. I just wanted to explain to you that we try our very best to respond within 24 hours, but that during our high volume times, like when we send the bill and the first week of classes, sometimes could take a little bit longer, and we apologize. And by all means, you're welcome to write again and just say, this is my second request. Because we are human and sometimes things just get pushed aside, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the Bursar's office. And we also encourage you to have your students stop in our office at any time. We love to talk to the students and we love to help teach them how to navigate the site. We like to help them with various things on campus. And we're all moms in here. So if we can help in any way, any question, whether it's, related to Bursar Services or maybe it's something else. Between the four of us, we all know about different things that go on the campus and different areas that can help with certain things. So please send them in. We would love to meet them. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I don't see anything in the chat. I'm going to stop sharing right now and just see if I can see any chat things going on. Okay, so this was a long time ago, but Angie and Victoria, are you good with, you could see the presentation? Sorry, I should have looked at that before.
Yes.
Okay. So Angie, did you just send an email to Bursar?
I did just send another one. It was just about the payment plan. If we want to enroll, then we go to that website, mycollegepaymentplan.com/Bucknell, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. I will just add to that. Nelnet does not know what you owe. They don't see anything on your Bucknell bill. So when you're setting up the budget, it doesn't matter to them what amount you set up. So I just want you to know that you might set up an amount that's way too big, and then you'll see that on the account, or call us by all means if you need step-by-step instructions on how to walk through what that balance means. If you take out a Nelnet plan that's too much and you have an excess on the account, we won't refund the student that excess because you're still enrolled in a payment plan with Nelnet. We would ask you to reduce your Nelnet plan, as Stacy had mentioned previously. Is there anything else that anyone has? This was our first time doing the virtual, so I don't want to say we're nervous, but we're learning this technical stuff and how to do a Zoom all out for everybody. So I apologize for the smallness of the presentation. But the person that was going to help us with this, that actually set this up, is off this week. So we kind of are just doing this on our own. So we're the finance gurus. We're not the techies. So is there anything else? Anybody have any questions that you wanted to throw in chat? Stacy, can you see the chats?
I can, yes.
Okay, there's one there about Nelnet if you wanted to look at that.
Okay, so it says if the Nelnet monthly payment plans are paid, your due amount will change monthly. How does that change the semester bill? So I apologize, I should have mentioned this. If you sign up for a payment plan, if you get enrolled into the 4 or 5 month plan, when we send out those fall semester bills in July, you will see the Nelnet payment plan credited on the B-bill account as for the full budget amount. So almost as if you've paid it in full, even though you're still making those payments. That's how you will see it on the bill. So if you get your bill and you show that you still owe money, or maybe you have a credit, you will take that into consideration, again, because we've posted it as if it's been paid in full. And then if you would contact Nelnet to adjust your plan up or down, Nelnet will then adjust your remaining payment. So if you had to increase it by $1,000, your last few remaining payments would just be a little bit higher than what initially was budgeted. I think I answered that question. If not, let me know.
So we have another question that says, our state 529 plan doesn't have Bucknell listed as a direct pay institution. Yeah, for some reason, we're not really sure why that is, but I don't believe we ever receive 529s electronically. We generally get those in check form, and sometimes we get 5 or 6 of them in one envelope because it's all coming from the same company. As long as the student name and BUID are on that check, that's perfect. I would love to get them electronically, but that would be between you and your 529. So I'm happy to provide the accounting, the bank account information for automatic payment through ACH, but I really don't know, depending on your company, if that's what they're willing to do. So if it gets to be close to the due date and your payment is not here yet, give us a call, send us an email, let us know that, my name is this and my son or my daughter, we're waiting on the 529. It has not been, you have not received it yet. Let us know, we'll put a comment on the account. And I will tell you this, that all check payments that come in are posted the same day, at the very latest, the next morning. So you will see us post payments live all day long. Online payments, of course, show up right away, but you will definitely see a check payment posted, and it should be identified as a 529. I had one other thing I was going to add to that. I didn't really talk about if you have a balance due and you don't know how to pay it, because that's not really what today's session is. But if you do have a balance due and you think that you've exhausted all of your options or you don't know where to turn, by all means, reach out to financial aid. I'm not trying to throw them under the bus, but financial aid has several associates that are willing to help you, and they will tell you what your options are. It's also on your financing options letter that you would have received from aid sometime in the month of May. If you need that, send us an email. We'll be happy to forward that letter to you. If you need assistance in navigating the B-bill or figuring out how to pay, and you want to talk to somebody in the Bursar's office, send us an email. If we can help you, we promise you we will put you in the hands of someone that can help you. We want to try every way possible to help you get your balance paid, get your balance satisfied by the due date, so that there are no complications with enrollment when it's time for your student to start class. I do also want to mention, as an authorized user, that if we have to put any type of hold or we need to get your attention right away, we will send an email to the student and their authorized user, because sometimes students tend to be too busy to read their email from Bursar. Not saying all of them, but some of them definitely. That's why it's also very important for you to stay on top of your student's account, and also ask questions of your student. If you're not getting anything, ask your student, have you received any information from financial aid of anything that you might need to complete? Or has the Bursar reached out to you in any way? We generally will send an email. Sometimes we call, and we don't send an email from Bursar that just says, hi, how are you? I hope you're having a great day. As much as I would love to do that, we're also told that students get so many emails, don't overwhelm them. So we're going to send an email, usually if there's something that we need. So that's important to know. I did get another question. Is the payment method the same for international students? So students can pay online via wire transfer, and we will provide those instructions to the student upon request or their authorized user. We send them actually a PDF version of that information. And do you have suggestions to minimize the cost of exchanging money for internationals? I don't have suggestions, but I can tell you that we are working on a process with Western Union, hoping that we can work something out for international students to make payments more easily, I should say, more efficiently, and keep those costs down for students. But that is all in process right now, so we're just not there. What does Bursar stand for? Keeper of payments, or
I just looked it up. Sorry about that. Because it started with a B, I thought maybe it's Bucknell, but yeah, I didn't know that word.
No.
A
A lot of people don't understand, well, what's a Bursar? What's the Bursar's office? Basically, we're in charge of student accounts in anything to do with students' financials, other than loans. Like, we don't process loans, but we can provide a little bit of assistance, or at least some suggestions with that. So, Stacy, is there anything you wanted to add that maybe we didn't remember to include?
I can't think of anything right now. I think we've covered most of it, but again, if there are any questions, always feel free to call or email us, and we're happy to help or answer your questions.
I thought of one more thing. At the beginning of the fall semester, I believe it's Wednesday, when the first year students come and their parents come, usually we have a resource fair. And then we also offer some sessions for parents during the afternoon. One of them is college student finance, but it also includes other things like dining and campus dollars and laundry information. Very, very, very informative session. So if you can attend that, that would be wonderful. That's a live in person. I don't know where it's at right now, but that information will be provided to you. Unfortunately, there's also other sessions held during that same time, so you can't reach them all. But I hope that when you come, that you'll stop in our office. We see tours go by here all the time, and they walk by and they'll say, "No, this is the office that you have to pay." Like, we're all like, "Hi," we're waving out the window, but we would love to meet you. We would love to know who we're talking to on the phone, who we're, dealing with every day on through email. We really, really are here to help you and your student, and I hope that you will take that into consideration if you get to visit campus soon or whenever you are here. So if you ever have any complaints or concerns, we also want to hear those. If there's something that you're not seeing that you think should be more visible to the parent and the student, send us an email with that suggestion and let us look into it.